We need to talk about cinema, we need to talk about AI and Darren Aronofsky. First trailer for Darren Aronofsky's new AI animated series, On This Day, 1776. Tells short narrative stories about the Revolutionary War. Uses Gen AI tools, including tech made by Google DeepMind, which, by the way, I have tested all this, and Google's DeepMind tools, yeah, these are the best for cinema right now. I don't know if there are any Chinese models that could be better than this. And it has SAG voice actors. At least we have real people doing the voice of this. But the problem is, I'm going to play the trailer. I hope that I don't have any problems with this. Before I play the trailer, I need to remind you that Darren Aronofsky is a solid director. I mean, Black Swan, we were talking about Natalie Portman crying about Ice yesterday, but well, Black Swan is easily in my top 20 movies of all time. Easily. Very easily. There's also The Wrestler in there. I watched Noah. I don't know. It's maybe people liked it. The Whale, maybe you watch that one. Requiem for a Dream. I did not watch Requiem. Mother, I read the plot of Mother and decided to skip that one. So again, your mileage may vary. This is not an endorsement. I could endorse Black Swan 100%. I love that movie. But again, this is with AI. And many people are hating AI because a lot of stuff, every single image that you're going to see was created synthetically. This is synthetic. All the costumes, all the actors, all the settings, everything is synthetic. And of course, there's a lot of stuff that could have been made by humans and it's not going to be made by humans. And some people have, of course, the point that, okay, you can save a lot of money and maybe bring your storytelling ideas to life with this, but I have a problem. I have a small problem. Let's watch this. I'm gonna play this, say play by play. I don't know if this is gonna be triggering any copyrights or what. It shouldn't because it's a trailer, but here we go.
The rebellious war is become more general.
Too many still unsure of why we fight.
Okay, one thing that you're gonna notice is you have this fast cuts, but we can maybe let's say give it a pass because it's a trailer, right? But you're gonna see very fast cuts, maybe precisely because it's made with AI.
We have it in our power to begin the world over again.
There is no way but forward.
We are now the troops of the United Colonies of North America.
For the purpose of establishing an independent empire.
Okay, but have two things to say about what happened, but just happened.
Who are you? Massachusetts!
That's not surrender.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. There's one shot that I really liked. I think that was one shot. One shot, I'm going to tell you which one was it. I have to... This one. I loved this shot. And these shots are excruciatingly hard to make. Any shot right at the sunset or at dawn are really hard to make because you have to set everything right and catch that glimpse of light. That is basically impossible. I remember, by the way, not talking about good movies. I don't know if it was in I think it was in Fast and the Furious Part 2. Yeah. My mind works like this. I remember when Paul Walker and this guy, Vin Diesel, I remember a shot that was at a sunset. That shot, I saw that shot and said, that was a difficult shot. That was right when the sun was setting down. And that is the kind of thing that is way easier doing with an AI. You can help yourself, and an AI is going to help you with that. Maybe you want to do it with a green screen, but it's never going to do the same. And maybe you want to save money by doing this with an AI. That is the point. The problem is with everything else. When you see things like this, for example, and you're going to miss it, you're going to notice that there's going to be this inconsistency in, the wheels, the distance, the dirt. This shot was terrible. I mean, this shot was as terrible as it can get because it still has that plastic nature. It doesn't have the reality of actual skin. This looks plastic. It is such a shame, and because this shot would be so easy to. And by the way, you have this size. You notice that one size of the paper, and the papers that are on the bottom are bigger. Let me say, what does it say here? And it barely. It wants to say common sense here, but you notice that the separation of the typography is odd, right? Oh my God, no, this could be so easy. This shot, on the other hand, will be so easy to make with the real humans. I mean, I think the idea would be to combine both technologies. You use AI for certain shots or certain things, and you still use humans and real costumes and real everything for most things. I mean, not gonna lie, but some close-up shots of people like this one, I, as a 3D artist, I would say that if I had to make a digital actor like this, it would be really, really hard. Okay, nail the texture, nail everything. But the problem that we're gonna have with this is the body language. Is that it would be nearly impossible to have, even if you have humans recording this, have the AI understand the actual expression and the expression of the person. On the other hand, if you record not only humans speaking the dialogue, but recording their faces with a 4K camera or an 8K camera, then you can tell the AI, you're going to mimic the person's facial expression. And it would be like when people do this voices for Toy Story or Pixar movies, and they not only have their voice, but in some instances they could use the acting of the face. You're using humans for that. There's no way. I made a video. I made a complete explanation and breakdown why you can't do that without humans. It's simply not possible. So when I see somebody trying to do this with no humans whatsoever, I say that this is not the way. Why people are using only AI or just humans has to be a blend of everything. You have to use AI when it's great to do so. I found this laughable. Somebody said on X that, yeah, let's go for the extreme close-ups of mouths so we don't have to deal with expression of the eyes or anything. Yeah, very convenient, right? Again, sadly, some shots, let me see, some shots I saw, really plastic. This is okay-ish. I think I would say that this was a nice shot. I mean, there are going to be a lot of inconsistencies, and this is the way that you can spot if something is AI. Because if something AI already can nail amount of fingers, okay, in most conditions, has been very good at it. The way to spot if something is AI, it's to look at patterns. Whatever that is a pattern that has to maybe be symmetrical, like in this case, you see that the pattern is not symmetrical. That's how you spot it's AI. For example, in the background, I don't know how to call this, the balaustres, the thing that you should have a rhythm. You see that rhythm is a bit odd. That's something that AI still doesn't know how to do properly. I mean, maybe that won't bother many people. Another thing that AI does all the time is that you see these guys, is like all of them have more or less the same anatomical structure. That's a problem with AI as well. It doesn't have, it's not that diverse. AI could be great for shots like this. Okay, you can't tell that this is not a real deal. Okay, this was terrible. This was terrible. This is Polar Express terrible. Remember Polar Express? This is not. I mean, I can't say much because remember that I am a 3D artist. I used to be a 3D artist. This would be amazing in 3D art. It would be amazing as a digital character. But AI should be much better than this. It looks flat. It looks synthetic. It still has that synthetic smell. It's like had that smell all over it. It doesn't happen with this guy. It looks way more realistic. And this one looks great, I would say. I'm gonna play this with that sound. This one, this kind of shots, no problem whatsoever. This looks great. I would say this looks great. I don't remember what is the term, and in English it's plano and contraplano. Let me see those candles. Candles, okay. We have a very quick shots of this. This guy, this shot lasted less than a second because we didn't want to know if this was going to work. This until, yeah, this is a problem. We see this. You see those shadows, those soft shadows. They look plastic. Still, I don't know. I don't know how could this work. And the problem is, as I mentioned, is that these tools have already been trained in with every single movie, with every single TV show, from every single country, in every single language, from every single era. And I don't know, the only way to make this better is to train this with more footage. And where are you going to find more footage? And how would the AI know what good acting is? No way. And I don't see any way beyond using who? Real people. If you use real people, your problem is solved. Maybe you can use real actors and then use AI as a TikTok filter. That could be the way. But these people want to do this everything from scratch, and no, that is not going to work. But I would like to know, what do you think about this in the comments? My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the scene surgeon. Much love and